Hello and welcome to what is a new series here on the game. So, as you see, floating there in space is the name What Remains of Edith Finch. So, I don't know all that much about the game other than it came out recently and it's very story driven, and I'm all about the story. So, I'm very excited to play this. I'm playing it completely blind, so I'd ask that you don't post any spoilers. And also, because I'm playing blind, I'm not sure exactly how the game plays. So let's have a look around. So oh, okay. I wanted to have a look around, but the game has different ideas. So it looks like some tulips there. Got so we got Edith Finch here. Her journal. I've actually got a journal like this somewhere around here that I write stories and things in, so maybe she does the same thing. Let's see. Let's open.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning with the house.
Oh, crazy looking house. Oh, and there it is. Okay. Okay, so I guess we've jumped back in time. Let's have a look around. So we've got a fence there. Okay, we've got some old telephone poles as well. At least in Ireland, those were for telephones rather than for electricity when we had those. Long time though. Maybe it's electric for here with the two wires. But starting off, first impression, it's a very nice looking game. I've got an older computer, it's a laptop as well. So the graphics card, although it was decent in its day, the graphics card, probably doesn't do the game justice. But still, for me, looking at it here, it looks pretty nice, pretty good. So I'm happy with that. I'm intrigued about what's over here, so let's go look at this.
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
So I guess just supposed to be looking at it from this angle. Okay, so Milton, date missing, that looks like 2003 maybe. It's hard to see. Let's get a better angle. Maybe 2003. Date of birth 1992. Orcas Island, WA. I'm not sure. Maybe that's Washington. Maybe someone who lives in the States can confirm or deny that. He was age 11 when he disappeared, and he's mixed Indian and white. Okay. And looking at his photo, it looks like maybe a birthday photo because he's got like the paper hat on that a kid would get, like, you're king today because it's your birthday and all that kind of stuff. And then the next day you just get returned back to being treated normally. So he's got blue eyes and he's got black hair. Okay. And if you have information about Milton, call the Orcas Island Police Department. Okay. And then
someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
No, because like the fence is a bit damaged there. And so we've got signs, so I guess that says something like private property, keep out, or something along those lines. But I don't think it'd be too hard to get in because it looks like certainly on this side that you could just back there a bit. You could make your way up there and just skirt around it. So I guess even if you couldn't do that though, the fence isn't gonna put off determined people. It's just for anybody wandering sees it and they go, no, I'm not going near that. They'll just keep on having their stroll or whatever. And I like these flowers here. My sister is really into flowers and plants and stuff, and she can make pretty much anything grow. And I think we got flowers, either those types of flowers or flowers similar to them, growing in our back garden at home in Ireland. I hope it's still growing there though. But it's been, well, it hasn't been that long since it's been home, but it feels like a long time.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
So he was 11 when he went missing, and she lived there until she was 11 as well. So, does 11, is that just a coincidence? Does 11 have some kind of significance? And where did she go when she was 11? I don't think we can go down that way. Okay, so what else have we got then? It's certainly a very nice setting. The clouds are a bit ominous though. Okay, so let's continue on down. We've got the post box here. It looks like a miniature of the crazy house as well. So we've got nice potted plant there as well. Like we've got potted plants here in Japan outside, and like this one has been here for God knows how long with no one looking after it. And our plants outside, half of them turned brown and died, even though we were watering them. But it's hard when you don't know anything about plants. It's hard to know whether you're under or over watering them. And I probably should have really asked my sister about that. She probably would have just said, no, you're doing it all wrong. Just do it the way I tell you and everything will be fine. But let's open this and see what's inside.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Okay, so I take it the power and water and everything else has been cut off. So then we've got the Orcas. What is it? Let's check the side here. The Orcas Island Gazette. Okay, so got a local newspaper. I wonder if that's still going or whether it's an internet-based publication now. There's so many, there's so much like print media that's disappearing these days because things like local newspapers and stuff. It's getting harder and harder for areas to produce them. Especially like I don't know about the US, but in Ireland, the local newspaper now is well over 50% just advertisements because they need to put in the advertisements to to be able to afford to actually publish the paper, and I don't think the paper would makes any money at all. But I guess that's just the way things are going. People are increasingly living their lives online, and things like local radio stations, local newspapers are going to be kind of the like some of the victims of that kind of thing, where if nobody wants them anymore, well then why should you have them? But at the same time, it is a bit sad. But let's continue forward.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Okay. So Lewis died. Milton went missing. Edith left when she was 15. Okay, so this is certainly interesting. Okay, so let's make our way through here. No trespassing. This property is protected by video surveillance. Trespassers will be prosecuted. That's kind of a standard notice you see. I wonder if there are actually cameras though. I guess if there are cameras, they probably don't work anymore. But I wonder if there were cameras when that notice was put up. Because you do get people who either put the notice up like that, or like say with a house alarm, they kind of the bright box with the light on top. Some people in Ireland anyway, I suppose it happens in other countries too, would just get the box and put it there, and it looks like they have an alarm, but it's just to for any potential burglars who might look at it and go, oh, I'll try a place that doesn't have it. I won't take the risk. Okay, so let's make our way.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Okay, we got a brief glimpse of the key. It looked like a looked like a front door key. There was something shining down here. Oh, it's just there must be light coming through as the tree sways, I guess. This is very peaceful now. I like this kind of waterfall. The water doesn't look particularly real, but it still has a nice kind of appeal about it, and it's very relaxing. But I'm not gonna stare at it for 30 minutes and put us all to sleep. So let's continue on. Okay.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Well, she was right then, wasn't she? You are back. Okay, so we've got sign for the Finches. So we've got two options. We're going to take the low road. It does mean that whoever takes the high road will be in Scotland before us, but we don't particularly want to get to Scotland right now, so maybe we'll get to the house before them while they're enjoying some haggis in Scotland. Okay, so we've got like a little brook here. Got some more missing posters about the place. Okay, so I want to go this way first. We've got fallen down tree.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Well, you were wrong then, weren't you?
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Oh, creepy house. Maybe we're going to interview the house, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. It's got the creek here. Got a little bridge over there. Okay, so let's check what's on this side. Okay, we got some stuff over here. Some ferns and stuff. And then we got the creek. So we can't go any further than that. I want to go see what's over there, but I guess that's just it's probably just scenery for us to look at. Okay, so let's make our way. Oh, we've got to go back around here. Some nice music as well. It's like it feels like there's a big mystery here, and the music kind of just enhances that as well. So well done to whoever designed the music for the game. Made a good choice. Let's just quickly have a bit of a gander over here. So that's where the tree that fell down was. Yeah, it feels like a very peaceful place. Let's head across here.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
I guess the woods didn't play music when she was younger. So we've got some fell trees there as well. So obviously someone was managing the woods. It wasn't just a case of letting them grow wild. Someone was actively managing. And then we've got the wheelbarrow there as well. We've got in this direction. Okay. Certainly very interesting, very atmospheric so far, and I'm very much enjoying being part of, you know, getting a glimpse into Edith's world and her childhood as well. We can go down here, but it probably doesn't go. No, it's the same as the other side. It doesn't go anywhere. Okay. Don't wander too far off the path, I guess, is the thing to remember. But I like, at the same time, I like, there's another missing thing, and another one. Okay. Yeah, I like exploring. Okay, so we've got a basketball hoop, or at least the backboard. I think the hoop is there as well. Yeah. There's the hoop, but someone stole the net. Okay, and oh, there's
the house was exactly
creepy ass
like I
house.
remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Okay, now this must be the other road, so let's explore this way before we go near the house. There's lots of areas like this in Ireland. Oh, look at that. Nice deer. That was interesting. I wonder, can we go... Oh, it doesn't look like we can go after him. No. He was just something for us to see, I guess. It was a nice thing, though, to see as well. It wasn't some big monster or something.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
So, were the hoof prints from the deer, or did someone come here on a horse? Maybe. I'm not sure. I really like this, though. As I said, really reminds me of Ireland. Especially, well, there's lots of places of Ireland, in Ireland like this, but for me, especially like the likes of the Dublin Mountains and into Wicklow as well, where you got kind of walks like this, and you can see kind of like the same kind of terrain. And I went there last year with my wife. We went up to the mountains with my sister and my brother-in-law, and it was really nice. And we saw, like, on a kind of a an area like this, kind of up there at the back, we saw some goats kind of making their way up like a steep area, and just marveling at, if you ever seen goats like climbing and stuff, you'd be amazed at how steep how steep a gradient they can actually climb. So this is back to then where we came through. So the Finch's sign must be, yeah, there it is there. So let's head on back to the house then, because we've explored both roads, I guess. She said, like, it's silent, but there's all this background noise, with the bugs and the amphibians, and I don't know whether we can hear any birds in there, but there certainly is a mix of life going on. And it's similar, yeah, there's some birds. It's similar to here in Japan, because right now we got the cicadas. In Japanese we call them semi. And if you've ever watched any Japanese anime that has like a summer sequence, you know what they sound like. And probably because I have the window open today, you might actually get some of it on the recording as well, if my microphone picks it up, and then my editing software doesn't remove it. So here we got what is this, just part of the building, or is it supposed to be something else? I can't tell. Maybe somebody knows what. Oh, it's for logs. Okay, so yeah, someone was felling trees maybe, and then putting the logs there, and then you've got the tarpaulin then to keep them dry. I wonder, I'm hanging around here to see if she says something about the truck here, because, so what's say JRM 1187, yeah, it is Washington. Okay, so Washington State. But strange she's not saying anything about the vehicle. In my family, for most of my life, my parents didn't have a car, especially my later years. But when I was a kid, like kind of up to about 10, 11, my dad had a car, and it was an old Opel. And like this would have been in, I guess, in the 80s, early 80s and the late 70s. And I have great memories, like a lot of my memories as a child are related to that car, because that was the car that when we went on holidays to the Isle of Man, which we did every year, kind of around that age, that's the car that we would take onto the ferry. And that was the car when we went to places like the mountains or we went to the beach. That's the car that we took. So I always have good memories of that. It wasn't like back then in Ireland, if you had a car, it wasn't a case of like you went everywhere in the car the way people who own cars now, like that. If there's a shop that's like 5 minutes walk away, they'd take the car, drive the car there for maybe, whatever it was, 60 seconds drive or less. Back then you didn't do that. Like my dad used the car for going to work, and then if we went somewhere on the weekend or if we went somewhere special during the summer, the car was used. But it wasn't for like going shopping or anything like that. Like it was basically for you kind of have to more justify when you used it, because petrol was certainly more expensive and that kind of thing. But certainly got a lot of nice memories from that car as well. Now there's something weird over there which kind of half looks like the snake and half looks like a giant purse. So we're going to go see what that is. So let's hit across the bridge. We've got some frogs. Well, with the tail and stuff, it looks maybe like a dragon. Okay, are you going to say something about it? I think this is one of these games where you have to be in exactly the right spot for it to trigger. So let's see if we're going around maybe this side, we can get closer to it. Okay, let's get around you, make our way along here. Oh, okay, so that's like an invisible wall, we can't go that way. Okay. So yeah, look at that janky ass house. It looks like a mix between like something from the movie Up, kind of on the right hand side, and then something from a horror movie on the left hand side. Like you could imagine the right hand side having hundreds of balloons attached to it and floating away, and then at the same time you could imagine the left hand side being in a horror movie where there's lightning flashing in the background, and then in the turret windows you would see like silhouette of someone every time the lightning went off, even though there was supposed to be no one else in the house. Those kind of movies. But let's make our way up the path here. There's more of these missing things, which I find a bit strange, because if I lived here, there was someone missing in my family, I'd imagine that everyone who lived here also knew there was someone missing in the family, so therefore there was no real reason to have the missing stuff around the place. But they don't particularly look like they've been placed. They look like maybe someone did a whole bunch of them, went into the local town, put some up in the area here as well, then had some left over, maybe left them out for like collection, like trash or whatever, and then maybe over time the bindings on them broke down and they blew around, and maybe that's what happened. But let's continue on up here. So we've got some nice...
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
I can see why it would. It's a weird looking house. Like the bottom bit looks like a normal house, and then someone just went crazy DIY, adding on all the other crap onto it. I wonder if it was just one person who was like off the rocker and built it up over years, or whether it was like successive generations decided to just out crazy the last generation and add an extra bit on. Let's continue on up. Got a nice kind of veranda here. Like if you look this way, you think, wow, this is a really weird place. But then if you look this way, you think, wow, this is a really beautiful place. What a great place to live. And then obviously someone at some stage put a lot of love in, because you see all the planters and you see someone built this deck, and I'm not sure what the story is with the dragon.
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband.
Oh, really?
I was 6.
Okay, so
it seemed like an odd joke to me even then.
Yeah. Unless it actually did kill her husband. So that, from this angle, it looks more like maybe a fairground thing where like there's a slide and then you come out. Either you go in through the mouth or you come out of the mouth. That's certainly what it looks like. Well, you do get like artists who buy those kind of things and install them on their property, especially in the US, where it's I guess it's easier to have a large property than it would be, say, in Ireland or the UK. And then like they install these things and they just look amazing, but then no one knows they're there, so nobody goes to see them. But installing in the pond, maybe at some stage it was at the side of the pond and it let out into it. I'm not sure. But, let's continue on. Let's go up this way.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Yeah, I can see why. I'm a little afraid of the house too. Okay, so before we actually go into the house, I want to continue exploring outside just to see what else we have. So we've got a picket fence over here. Okay, I think that's just as an invisible wall to stop us. Yeah, you can't get to that side. Wow, look at that. All of that support that they had to build for the janky ass part of the house. Okay, so let's continue on then over this side, because I want to see what we actually have over here. So we've got a garage here. Okay. Then got some walls. Oh, some wind chimes, nice. We've got a swing. I wonder if we can get to the swing at some stage. And is that a chair or something up in the tree? I don't know what that is. It doesn't look natural anyway, whatever that is in the center. We've got a couple of wheelie bins here. So we've got recyclables and trash only. Okay, so you basically got trash and then recyclable. So in Ireland, at least the part that I lived, we had 3 bins. So you had the green bin was for, or the green wheelie bin was for recyclables. So the likes of paper, cardboard, plastics, and like tin cans and that kind of stuff. Then we had a brown bin, which was like a compost bin, which was for food waste, food wrappings, like paper wrappings, not the plastic stuff. Then like cut leaves or glass, anything that was compostable would be put in there. And then a black bin then for your regular rubbish, or I guess you call it trash or garbage. So there's a flap there, cat flap, so we either had a cat or a dog at some stage as well. Okay, that's interesting. And then we've got the hose reel there. Okay, so let's head on back around to the front. What
I
was
heard
that?
something moving around in the garage.
Okay, so did I. Okay, just made it a little bit more scared. Although, like, it's the middle of the day, but still, if nobody's supposed to be here, maybe it's like a raccoon or something in there. But I don't think this is a horror game. I think it's just a story-based game. So, but let's enjoy the view as I finish off this particular episode, because next episode we will head inside the house. But for now, so far, I'm enjoying the story element. There's a nice mystery to it. There's some nice atmosphere, nice music. It looks nice as well. A lot of nice, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Um, but I'm enjoying it so far, and I hope you are too. And if you are, please consider subscribing, sharing, liking, and posting comments. And I really do hope to see all of you next time. Goodbye.